Brahmaji is speaking to his son, Swayambhuva Manu. He saw that Swayambhuva Manu is very obedient, and he has accepted the order of his father to help him in procreation, in increasing the population of this universe. So Brahmaji is giving him guidance how to go about his duty. It's very important instructions from Brahma to his son. This is how we can also lead our life in Krishna consciousness. Even though engaged in all kinds of occupation, even though engaged in all kinds of activities, we can still remain untouched by material affection. Just like a lotus flower, it grows in dirt. You'll find in a very filthy place, dirty place, filled with stagnant water, the lotus flower is growing, but it still remains untouched. The lotus flower is above that. Similarly, these guidelines by Brahma to Manu, the father of mankind, is very instructive for mankind to follow. Through Manu, Brahmaji is instructing us in disciplic succession how to lead our life in this material world. How, even though we may be engaged in so many occupations, so many activities, still, if we don't forget, if we understand the real goal of human life, then we will not become entangled in varieties of occupation, varieties of activities. So, Brahmaji is saying, Satvam asyam apatyani. Prabhupada translates Saha as therefore that obedient son. So Brahmaji is saying to Manu, since you are my very obedient son, so what should I do? I am obedient son to you. Tvam asyam apatyani. I ask you to beget children. See? But he is giving a very important instruction. Don't beget children like cats and dogs, not unqualified population. What is the word he is using? Sadrashani. They should be equally qualified like you. So like you are qualified to being a putra, like that you should beget children in the womb of your wife. Sadrashani atmanaha. Equally qualified like you. Gunaihi. Equally qualified in what? Not just in physique, but in quality. Gunaha. Characteristic. And after that, after begetting children equally qualified like you, what you do? You also give protection. Utpadya, after having begotten, Shasha dharmena gam. You rule the world according to the principles of devotional service. So, not only you beget children, the children you beget, they should be given proper direction, they should be given proper protection, proper guidance, according to scriptural rules and regulation. And that's how we find we have scriptures like Manu Samhita, which describes about how a man should lead his life. So it is for the mankind. Manu Samhita is meant for the mankind. It's a scripture according to rules and regulations of what rules and regulation we should follow in this lifetime, so that the goal of life can be achieved. This is very important. The children are begotten, they are ruled over, but very important, Prabhupada says is, Shasha Dharmena. Everything should be done on the principles of devotional service. And what should be done? Not that whatever activities people perform, because we are sent in this material world according to our material desires. But the Lord is very kind. He gives a secret formula that activities you have come to the material world to enjoy, but I will give you a secret of doing activity by which you can enjoy in the present material life, but at the same time you will satisfy the Lord. You see? Your desires will also be fulfilled, but the goal of those activities should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then what will happen? Gradually, your diseased mentality of trying to be the enjoyer, of trying to be bhokta, that will become rectified. You see? So, Brahmaji is instructing Manu to lead such a kind of life. Why this is very instructive is, from Manu, this mankind has actually begun. Even though Brahmaji is the original person, but the mankind, the race, what we are seeing today, it has begun from Manu. So, how Brahmaji is asking Manu to lead his life is essentially how we should try to lead our life. So, what is important, Prabhupada is saying is, not that we just get married and we beget children without responsibility. Brahmaji is saying, I am not asking you simply to populate. That is not the only word. Populate with responsibility. Populate so that people can achieve the real goal of their life. What is the real goal of life? Real goal of life, to be sent to prison house, is not to simply make them suffer. That suffering, there is a reason for rectification. Similarly, to populate the world is not simply to come here and enjoy our life. Government is not happy that all of you go to the prison house, enjoy your life in prison. From third class prisoner, try to get promoted, become second class prisoner, then become first class prisoner. No, that is not the goal. Goal is gradually to come out of the prison house. The material world is designated as Dukhalyam. It is a prison house. It is temporary. So goal is not to lead our life here and make some permanent settlement in the material world. Varnashrama is designed temporarily. Be engaged according to your propensity, according to your nature, which we have acquired, but at the same time rectify the mentality. That is the whole goal of Varnashrama system. So, Prabhupada, in the very first line of the purport, is saying the purpose of material creation by Brahma is clearly described here. Where it is described? It is only said here, you are my obedient son. I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of yajna. So where is the purpose of material creation described? Where it is described? What it is said? Yeah. What is the purpose of material creation? Why Brahma is creating? Yeah, we are all supposed to read creation by Brahma, all this, because this creation has a purpose behind it. You see? This temporary creation is made to give a chance to the living entity to rectify their mentality. Also to try to enjoy whatever different desires, independent of the Lord, they wanted to satisfy, and gradually become rectified in their mentality. This is the sum and substance of creation. This is the sum and substance. So, when Brahmaji wants to increase the population, it may look like some material work he is doing, isn't it? But actually there is a very important purpose. This is, he is giving chance. Why Brahmaji is increasing? Why is he so much inclined in increasing the population, we may think about? Looks like some material conception he has got. Wants to populate this whole universe with living entities. Correct? From external viewpoint, this looks like to be something material. But actually, there are two ways. All of us should understand this very, very clearly. There is a direct way, there is a gradual way. Varnashrama is a gradual method. Those who are not very intelligent to take up to direct devotional service of the Lord, they must undergo the principles of Varnashrama Dharma to gradually become elevated to devotional service of the Lord. Can somebody quote a verse from Bhagavatam describing the goal of Varnashrama Dharma is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Very famous verse. No, this is from Puranas. This is from Vishnu Purana. Bhagavatam. Yeah. How does it begin? Ataha pumbir dvija shreshtha varnashrama vibhagashaha swanustistasya dharmasya samsiddhim haritoshanam. Prabhupada says, most important essence of this verse is haritoshanam. What is haritoshanam? To satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when Brahmaji is increasing this population in this universe, the idea is with a purpose. That according to their tendencies, according to their nature, they have acquired according to their karma. Somebody will be born in Brahmana family, somebody will be born in Shudra family, somebody will be born in Kshatriya. Right? Then, according to the guna and karma, one should be so engaged. Prabhupada says sometimes there is a controversy. It's a valid controversy. They say, you see, we are not saying it is by birth. Many people will say, by birth nobody is a Brahmana, they will also agree. But they will say, see, what we have to understand is, person is born in a family of Brahmana according to his guna and karma. What we have acquired in our past life, guna and karma, that kind of family, that kind of circumstances we are born in. Karanam guna sangasya. Right? What kind of body we are going to get is according to our guna. So then how are you saying Brahmana's son is not Brahmana? Right. This is their idea. So what is the understanding? Specifically, in Kali Yuga, by birth everybody is considered to be Shudra. Kalau Shudra Sambhavat. Essentially, everybody is born as Shudra. Because even to beget a child, the Brahmanas used to perform all kind of samskaras. Then a person who was having proper guna as a Brahmana will be born. When it is done without samskara, even a Shudra can be born in the house of a Brahmana. You may be a qualified Brahmana, but because you have not done proper samskaras, then even a soul which is having the karma characteristic of a Shudra can be born. So Kali Yuga, the process is to identify is not by birth, it is by guna and karma. That's why Narad Muni, when he was instructing, he says, even if you find guna of a Brahmana in the family of Shudra, he should be accepted as Brahmana and trained in the work of Brahmana. See? So, Varnashrama, the essential principle of Varnashrama is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. That is the most essential principle. Now what it has become? Goal is forgotten. When the goal is Haritoshanam, then Varnashrama is alright. When the goal is Indriya Preetir, sense gratification, Varnashrama becomes demoniac. How it becomes demoniac? We see that few years back. Artificial dominance over others. I am Brahmana. Born in family of Brahmana. I am Chaturvedi, and I was quoting in last class. I am Divedi. The person may not be even knowing the names of the Vedas, but he will be calling himself Chaturvedi. Chaturvedi actually is a title given to the person who knows the essence of the four Vedas. Isn't it? He will be calling himself Divedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, and he will be pulling thela. The work he will be doing is of pulling thela. That is not Brahmana, isn't it? Why it is? It has become demoniac. And that is how we are finding that today, because of this artificial dominance being created by so-called caste Brahmanas, practically the whole Vedic culture is lost. In today's conversation also we were reading, Prabhupada is saying, practically where is devotee? Even in India, where devotees are left? Because they have forgotten the principles. When the essence is lost, it's only external what remains. When the Atma is gone, you decorate the whole body, it is useless. So artificially we divide Brahmana, Shudra, Vaishya, all these things. And we are thinking we are following the Vedic culture. No. You have taken out the essence from the society. You have taken out the essence of Varnashrama Dharma. Essence of Varnashrama Dharma is Haritoshanam. That itself you have forgotten. And then you are dividing, Brahmanas are there, Kshatriyas are there, Shudras are there, he is Shudra, he is Harijan. What is the use of that? Isn't it? It is as good as society where there is no division. It is as good as that. So, Prabhupada explains, when Haritoshanam is there, even material activities become spiritualized. When Haritoshanam is not there, so-called spiritual activities are also material. That should not be forgotten. You are chanting Vedic mantras, all those things. But if Haritoshanam is not there, satisfaction of the Lord is not there, then even your so-called reading of the Vedas is material. So-called performance of yajna is material. That is what we should understand. Otherwise, the goal of Varnashrama is what? Goal of Varnashrama is how to make a man who is filled with material propensity gradually be elevated to spiritual inclination. That is the goal of Varnashrama Dharma. Somebody is a Shudra, somebody is a Kshatriya, somebody is having business mentality. All of those people were, whatever propensities they had, does not matter. Gradually, do all your activities in the service of the Lord. Ataha pumbir dvijashreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha swanushtistasya dharmasya swa. With your own occupation, what do you do? Samsiddhim. If you want real perfection of your occupation, what do you do? With your occupation, Haritoshanam. Work for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of God. Then that is called Varnashrama Dharma. So, two processes should be understood. Varnashrama Dharma is a gradual process. In Kali Yuga, practically it is not possible. Why? Where is Brahmana? Where are Kshatriyas? Where are Shudras? Where are Vaishyas? Everybody is Shudra. So, artificially division may not be possible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given a direct process of taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So Prabhupada is saying, both of them there is no difference. Do not think there is a difference. Do not think only Swayambhuva Manu is following the orders of his father. Even the four Kumaras, they are also, may not be externally they are following the orders of his father, but actually they are satisfying the principle of material creation. Those who are intelligent, they can take directly to devotional service. Four Kumaras directly took to devotional service. For them, it is not obligated. They have to produce population. Gradually, they have to come to the level of devotional service. It is not required. They can directly take to devotional service. Isn't it? But those who cannot take directly to devotional service, for them it is very essential that they follow the principles of Varnashrama Dharma, so that gradually they can be elevated and they can come out of this material bondage. So Prabhupada is saying here, Vishnu worship is the ultimate aim of human life. Those who take the license of married life for sense enjoyment must also take the responsibility to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So either you be brahmachari or you become grahastha. It is immaterial. What is important is either as brahmachari or as a sannyasi, goal should be with your activity, satisfy Lord Vishnu. Grahastha, do not think it is a license for sense gratification. The idea of Grahastha ashram is your material propensity can gradually be elevated to spiritual inclination. That is the whole idea. So Prabhupada is saying the license comes with a responsibility. If you only want to take license, then you will be punishable. You want to take license, I want to enter into Grahastha life. And then you procreate like cats and dogs, enjoy life and think, no, I am Grahastha. For me it is meant I can enjoy sex pleasure, all these things. No. That is not the idea of Grahastha life. That license of sensual enjoyment comes with a greater responsibility of making our children Krishna conscious. That is what Brahmaji is ordering Manu. Procreate, but procreate with responsibility, procreate with quality. And also not only just procreate and leave them just like this, guide them, shashana, properly, give them proper guidance, so that, rule them properly so that they can be elevated. That is also very important. So, Prabhupada says here, Varnashrama Dharma is the systematic institution for advancing in worship of Vishnu. However, if one directly engages in the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it may not be necessary to undergo the disciplinary system of Varnashrama Dharma. The other sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, directly engaged in devotional service, and thus they had no need to execute the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. So we should not think that everybody necessarily has to undergo the 4 Varnas, the 4 ashramas. It is a misunderstanding. We are seeing here both the examples. One example is of Swayambhuva Manu, another example is of the 4 Kumaras. Both attained the same goal. One attained gradually, another attained directly. So those who can directly take to the devotional service of the Lord do not need to follow all the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. That is the essence of this verse. We'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada. Read from Srila Prabhupada's journey on board Jaladuta. August 18, 1965, on sale at Colombo. Srila Prabhupada wrote this in his Jaladuta diary. Today I felt quite normal and the seasickness completely removed. The ship remained silent the whole day on account of hazy sky and only a few loads of goods were admitted. I wanted to see the Colombo city, but I could not make any arrangement. The ship was standing at the midstream and I did not like to go alone. Srila Prabhupada ki.